Alrighty, so are we ready for the end? We're actually almost there. We've almost done it. The end of the North Abounds tutorial. The good old beginner tutorial. Are we ready for the end? Are we ready for the Vanguard and the King Boo fight? So you need to walk out there and get the fire like you did to Grimly, like I just did there. Just in case you didn't figure that out from what I did. And we just gotta do a lot of walking up to Vanguard after the save warp. If you didn't save warp, you would just go up through cellar and all that other stuff if something happened. It's a Vanguard. Actually, I shouldn't save state there. I should save state after the cutscene. There'll be a cutscene. You have 3 triples to get each time. Or 3 of each ghost, basically, that you face throughout the run. Quite an interesting, epic way to end the game, right? So, I mean, just in a beginner standpoint, don't need to make it too complicated. Make sure you just get the triples faster than not getting them. As we said before. You gotta like whip around a little bit to make sure you get them. Like wait till they get together to be more comfortable if that's good for you. Obviously, like the faster you get them together, the better. Or the faster you get the actual 3-piece started, the better. This one is a very common one. You want to do like slower because it's pretty hard. Because the hitboxes are like further away and I'll explain how to get back to it again. And you just want to burn those guys at the end. And then Vanguard will just show you his heart, basically. At the very end of that. So the orange guys are pretty simple, you can let them come to you. You can kind of do the same thing here. You can kind of like turn and let these guys come to you. And that may be easier, yeah, that may be easier, just do that. And then do the same thing for these guys. Just let them come to you. And the more comfortable you get, the closer you can get to them. And then we'll have these guys, which I'll explain, because the hitboxes is further away, it's easier to miss them. Or if not further away, but like it's like raised, basically. There you can see it. Their hearts are like a little bit like forward in the head of where they are. And what most of us think to ourselves basically is like, because most of the ghosts have the heart in the middle of the ghost, that you kind of like aim for the ghost as if it's in the middle, so you aim really close. But because the heart is like a little bit more forward on these guys, the hitbox becomes a little bit further back because of that. It's kind of the feeling you get. So because of that, if you take these guys like normal, you're gonna end up with like something like that. You know. So you want to like take a little bit of space and make sure that you're lined up. And don't be afraid to take a little bit of space at first, for sure. But do the best you can to try to be straight with your angles. Stay with them at first, that'll probably help. But all the rest of these guys, just let them come to you. But yeah, just make sure you burn these guys. And suck up Van Gogh. Just make sure you go into the chest there. Or not to the chest, rather going to where the boo spawn is, because there's only 2 in this room. There's only 1 to the right, and 1 all the way over here. It's the last boo you have to get. So what you want to do is you want to hit this and then get the key, because while the key is dropping, you can hit this animation that'll save you a second, and then it'll save you another little, like a half a second or so, while the boo's trying to spawn. That makes sense. And I do the same thing here. I always go to the side and make sure I can see my space of where I am. And this guy you can't once go because he's 300 health, but he comes back into the same room, so just let him come back in there. And you can lead him a little bit to the door. You feel comfortable with that. And just pump until you're done. And if you miss the 2 cycle, you just keep repeating the thing, because he always comes back into the same room. He has nowhere else to go. Also, that was not right. Alright. So we hit this key. Remember vacuum cancels, they help a lot, trust me. It's all about timing and spacing with the boost strat. You just gotta get the feel of it. I wouldn't do this fast boomerang unless you feel really comfortable, but I did it by accident here. If you feel like you can do it, you can go for this faster boomerang. Honestly, if from like a beginner standpoint, if you're gonna do a boomerang, I would do it in the beginning. It's not even that much slower. And what you would do is you would just like get to the door before he does. If I can do that. There you go, let him go back in like that. Just make sure you don't get auto-locked on the pearls. They're still there. Just be aware of that. That's why I kind of try to like circle around that area a little bit. Like when he comes back in the room, I try to like circle around this area. Maybe like not like suck up until you get about right here, because you may get that lock on. Dang. Like I said, if you have this problem again, if he gets down to like 50 or a really low number, you can do the other boomerang. It's not that like threatening to do it then. It's a little scary when you have some double cackles in play, but in that case, it doesn't really matter. Just walk right in there. That's the same case for any other boo too. You can do that. Ooh, dang. It's a little bit too long on the cackle, so he like leaves. It's good to kind of do that on bigger boos, but obviously when you're that close to the door, not so much. It's better to like talk through this as I make mistakes, because you don't know what else to say unless you make them. And then you know what else to get with. Yeah, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to just walk in there and do that. It's one of the reasons why I never did that boomerang from that side, because that's a problem a lot of the time. Dude, he still didn't go through the door. Ooh, that's something. He went back through the other way. Nice. Good, thank you. Maybe even like point it left a little bit. And again, you can use your stick here. Try to push him down and try to get it. And the what is this guy doing, dude? You can do that if you wear it. Keeps him down, it pushes him down. Buys you a little bit more time, so you can get the life off you need before he decides to leave. He doesn't like to go into the room very fast, does he? Alright, so that's kind of the idea, though. Just same as all the other boos, keep spacing, keep ideas, stay away from the pearls in the bottom right. And then you would save warp on this boo as well. King boo. That's all we have left. So we literally just need to like get all the way down here through this door and down into the last caged area. That requires 40 boos, which is all we need for this run, so we can complete it too. Then we'll just talk to King Boo for a bit and start it up. King Boo is another one that will take a while to 2-cycle in general. The best idea to do is to get used to the quick 3-cycle starting off. So that's probably what we'll do. But we'll explain them both. Not to worry. To a point. Okay, so you want to stand behind the pillars and get a ball. And while he's doing that right there, you just want to hit him with it. You kind of want to do like a circle motion. And every time you hear him attack, you just avoid the attack. Basically. cool thing about this ball shot, you can do it from straight on. The reason why I like doing it from the side is you have a lot of leeway, like I can stand right here. And you have all that leeway for if you like miss it by a little bit. Obviously if I wait that long it's bad, but like if you're a little bit off angle you can get it and you can still get it faster, so I mean it's fine either way. Yeah, I like to stand here and then move left and then get back to the middle and then move left and then go back left and then move back right again, so that I can like levelly see like where I am. So like standing straight up looking at King Boo and then like pulling myself back right every time I do the every time I hear him attack, so that I don't get like one of those attacks where you like pull not enough or you pull too early and you end up with the getting attacked by King Boo, or getting attacked by the Bowser's head. But I mean basically when he attacks he's gonna attack wherever you were standing. And the hitbox is not very big on it. So as long as you're like moving just a little bit, you're fine. And you want to start pumping about halfway in between if you're actually trying to go for a 2-cycle here. Keeping your spacing is good, except for when you do what I did there at the end and lost them. You can like get off angle where you can like kind of not hold down the L button all the way and like lose control of them. It happens to me a lot because fingers are big. It's just a bad spot to be in there. You don't want to lead them that way. Don't lead them toward the pillar. But yeah, I try to stay like parallel on the first one particularly. And then just kind of like hear the attack and then move my way around. As long as you remember that every time you attack, move. Like even if you want to like move after he actually like you hear him actually shoot the ball, you're gonna be fine because hitbox is very small. So you can kind of see that idea there. Yeah, you can still move around that. I didn't do that very well, but you can still move around that. Oh, wait, I was trying to get... Like, I'm trying to keep my controller cam in order because we're like going everywhere like we tend to do. Alright. So... you kind of want to keep the same idea. You want to keep the spacing going. Because if you stay under him, obviously he won't like go where you are, and you want him to be lower, you don't want him to be higher, same idea, and you don't want to get too far away. You have to keep that same spacing idea. He still double cackles like any other boo, it's just visual. You have to see him jumping around a lot. that was pretty good. Okay, let's see if we can find a good timing for like bumping here. I mean, you can vary it a lot. A lot of people say, oh, bump here, bump here, bump here. There's a lot of different places you can do it. It'll be okay. You obviously want to keep your pumps slower, not too short like you would in anything else. Though you want to just keep that in mind, because it will like leave sooner if that happens. If you have something happen like I just did, you can always go for like if you don't, or you're not getting enough life off and you know you can't do cycle, there's nothing wrong with getting a 3 cycle. Just make sure he stays above 200 and he doesn't have to move everywhere. Or he won't move everywhere afterwards and take his, like, basically Bowser will put his head on backwards and walk around for a while. And then you can continue. You got away with that. I wasn't too worried about it, but it's funny that I still got the life when he left. Yeah, the angled shot there is quite, like, giving, so I would suggest it, in my opinion, anyway, to start off, unless you really like another angle better. And you're better with that, then do that angle. Definitely do the angle that works for you. If that works for you. But yeah, just circles. Now let's see what we can do with the ice thing. It really depends. I've seen people do it really early, I've seen people do it really late, and all of them get it down really low. I generally do it from like a point of a little bit over 100 life to go, so like about halfway really. Get like 125, 130 life offs, about halfway is a good place to go with. So you get down like around 370, 360ish. Should be okay. Surprised that worked out as well as that did. You can be a little awkward, you want them to be as low as you can, but you don't want to get like crown theft glitch or anything like that, which is a thing. You can grab his crown before you're actually supposed to. And the game doesn't actually give you a cutscene at the end, so you want to avoid something like that. But yeah, just keep the spacing. Also, the second cycle is easier because you always auto lock onto him the second time. You don't do that the first time. So it's always like a good thing to keep in mind. Yeah. It can be kind of dangerous when you get that low below him there. You can still do it, but it's gonna take some feel. If you ever get into that situation, just bring him down to 200. You can actually show what happens when you don't do that too, because you have to do what I call the animation after he runs around. But yeah, just pay attention to the shadow, which I'm not doing well in some cases here. With King Boo, as we've done with like Give You the Boo and the Colossus, particularly. So you just want to try to keep him as low as you can keep him, and then feel the space out when you see him moving around a lot. That means he's double cackling as opposed to like maybe he's jumping around. Yeah, always parallel and then move to the right, as you notice. Always kind of go back there and then move to the right, back there and then move to the right. That way I can always see where I am on the ground. Because it's a little bit easier to like bonk into King Boo if you're doing it from like the other side, and like, let's say I'm on the whole entire other corner, you know? And I'm like pointed this way to King Boo instead. Pointed back at him, it could be hard to like see where you are if I was pointed this way. That's why I always know where I am a little bit better this way. And I always go back that way, and you can still bonk obviously, just gotta pay attention to what you're doing. On where King Boo is. Oh dang, that was late. Yeah, I mean you can see how slow like the pumps are. They're not too fast. Don't need anything too fast here. Moves around so different, difficulty without any like lag. He moves so much more. Or so much faster, so that's a little weird. There you go, see like fast circles, that helps too, doing like fast circles. Because I tend to do risky stuff too much, do fast circles and then you can generally get them down to around where you need to. Fast, tight circles. You're still kind of touching the controller stick around per se. But you don't even really need to do that if you can even like do like small circles without even touching the edges. But you see, even though I pumped as long as I did, the reason why he only got down to 254 is not because I pumped to that late, is because I was not logged on to him for like a full second. So it doesn't like matter too much. Dang. But yeah, for the ending part, like if you get him below 200, say maybe we went for the 2 cycle and we missed it or something, I guess. I accidentally like bonked into him or did that. You kind of want to stand somewhere in this area and just have him go up, just make sure he doesn't get tied into anything. Maybe I'll stop and turn around. He gets tied into any one of those walls or just keep running against it forever. And then you have to wait for a while. And you just get one of the balls again. Make sure that you're far enough away that you get the ball, but not too far away that you get a different jumping attack. Landing directly into you, because that's bad. But it's kind of like a 1, 2, 3 thing. Once Bowser like initiates his ability to like start leaning over, it's about 3 seconds, a 1, 2, 3 thing when you actually let go of the ball. 1, 2, 3, let go of the ball. I'm doing this like a lot of times so you can like see like the motions of what I'm doing and all the, because it's reacted different each time. You have to space out a little bit more if there's, you're a little bit too close. That was way up there, but still got it anyway. But yeah, managing the cackles and being aware and not pumping, because when you pump, when you start doing the pumps, the double cackles do get doubled. Again, so that you add another one in there so he leaves quicker, so you do have to keep that in mind. You still have to stretch that stuff out and be aware. It just takes a lot of time and practice and idea to get the idea. But yeah, that's basically it. You have won the game, you have done the legendary. Destructive persona of everything. And timing ends when you suck up the King Boo if you don't know that. And there you go. But that's the end of the run, so I hope this helps some people with some things. We tried to get some detail in there. Just enough to help and have a like newer route and some things explained a little bit more for a tutorial throughout the run. I'm not able to explain all the things, but explain some of the things along the way. May help a little bit more. Thanks guys for watching. We shall be around. Good luck with the speedrunning.